As chaos continues to erupt in LA, and it's spreading across America, by the way, we'll tell you about that in a moment, Karen Bass has finally decided to acknowledge there's a problem. What was mostly peaceful protests apparently now demands a lockdown of LA. Take a listen.
I wanted to let the city know that I have declared a local emergency and issued a curfew for downtown Los Angeles to stop the vandalism, to stop the looting. Many businesses have now been affected by or vandalized. Last night, there were 23 businesses that were looted, and I think that if you drive through downtown LA, the graffiti is everywhere and has caused significant damages to businesses and a number of properties. Let me just say that a curfew has been in consideration for several days, but clearly after the violence that took place last night, 23 businesses looted, and just the extensive, widespread nature of the vandalism, we reached a tipping point and declared a state of emergency and called for the curfew.
So we guess now the situation is out of control. It was mostly peaceful while cars were being set on fire, but now there's a little too much graffiti for Karen Bass. So now LA is in lockdown. The law-abiding citizens are going to suffer because you didn't take action in the beginning. And yes, curfews are a form of lockdown. Meanwhile, has Mexico just declared war on the United States? The Mexican Senate president just today suggested that Mexico should take a large amount of land from the United States because of all of the Mexican names. Take a listen. This is astounding.
Yo estuve en la Torre Trump cuando decía el presidente electo Donald Trump estaba 16 días de tomar protesta por primera vez como presidente, asumir el cargo. Y yo dije, si hacemos el muro, sí lo pagamos, pero lo hacemos con el mapa de México en 1830. Este es lo que era Estados Unidos en 1830. Y esto era parte de México, no era todo México. Si ustedes pueden ver, quizás un tercio, mínimo una cuarta parte del territorio norteamericano era parte de México hasta 1846. Fuimos despojados de estos territorios. Nosotros estábamos asentados ahí antes que la nación hoy conocida como Estados Unidos. Los tratados de Guadalupe Hidalgo establecen derechos para la gente asentada en esos territorios que no se respetaron. La ciudad de Nuevo Laredo, Laredo era una ciudad mexicana, y la ciudad de Nuevo Laredo se formó con los mexicanos que vivían en Laredo y que no quisieron quedar del lado de los Estados Unidos y se vinieron a lo que es territorio nacional. Con esta geografía, ¿cómo puede hablar de liberar Los Ángeles y California el gobierno de Estados Unidos? ¿Liberarlos de quién? Los mexicanos y mexicanas que están asentados en ese lugar están asentados en lo que ha sido su patria. Dos nombres no engañan. El idioma que más se habla en Los Ángeles es español. No necesitas hablar inglés para estar en Los Ángeles. Y estamos en la situación actual. Esto es parte de Estados Unidos. Sí, el gobierno de Estados Unidos tiene derecho a instrumentar las medidas que considere migratorias convenientes, ciertamente, pero no tiene derecho a violentar la dignidad de las personas migrantes. No tiene derecho a separar las familias, no tiene derecho a someterlos al sufrimiento, a la persecución.
This in from the Daily Mail. ICE prepares full assault on 5 Democrat cities as LA goes into lockdown amid the immigration riots. Donald Trump is set to deploy ICE tactical units to 5 Democrat-run cities amid the riots in Los Angeles as Gavin Newsom nearly broke into tears while blaming his administration for inciting the California chaos. The military-style units are set to storm New York City, Seattle, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Northern Virginia, MSNBC reported. 4 of those 5 are heavily blue cities, in other words, generally lawless, soft on crime, while Northern Virginia contains the Democrat enclave of Alexandria. And on Gavin Newsom's comments, there's been a bit of back and forth between him and JD Vance. He's saying the president of the United States just called for the arrest of a sitting governor. This is a day I hoped I would never see in America. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, this is a line we cannot cross as a nation. Well, JD Vance has responded to him and said, do your job, that's all we're asking. And then Newsom couldn't help himself. He said, do your job. We didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. Rescind the order, return control to California. Big mistake, son. Vance came back strong. Kudos to modernity for putting this together. So JD Vance says, Gavin Newsom says he didn't have a problem until Trump got involved. Both of these photos were taken before the president authorized the National Guard to go protect our border patrol in California. Does this look like no problem? And then you can keep reading here. Gavin and Newsom and his stooge Karen Bass fomented and encouraged the riots because their entire political movement exists for one purpose: to promote mass migration into our country. It is their reason for being. Democratic leadership has no solution for the economy, for prosperity, or for security. They use their power when they're in the majority to import millions of illegal immigrants, and when they're in opposition, they do everything possible to prevent deportations. Under Newsom's leadership, Medicaid was extended to all illegal immigrants in 2024. This means that he elected to take healthcare from impoverished and disabled Californians and give it to illegal aliens. And now, everything is President Trump's fault? Give me a break. Some further comments from JD Vance. If you want to know why illegal aliens flock to your state, stop accusing Donald Trump. Look in the mirror. If you want to know why Border Patrol fear for their lives over enforcing the law, look in the mirror. Your policies allowed Los Angeles to turn into a war zone. You sure as hell had a problem before President Trump came along. The problem is you. Can't say we disagree with JD Vance there. Well, Reuters is now reporting that troops in LA can detain individuals as protests spread across the US. They say that US troops in Los Angeles to help manage protests are authorized to detain people until police can arrest them, a military official said on Wednesday, as hundreds of Marines prepared to move into the city soon. Protests over President Donald Trump's immigration raids have spread from California to other US cities, with hundreds of nationwide demonstrations planned for Saturday. That's, of course, the No Kings map that we've been showing you this week. Very, very concerning. Many are saying now that these specific areas in LA could be deemed to be under a form of martial law. The actual definition of martial law seems to be a little bit different, but the lines seem to be blurring as this situation progresses. As we reported yesterday, most people are in support of President Trump deporting as many illegals as possible. This is what he campaigned on, this is what people voted for, and this is what he's doing. No one at this point should be surprised. Nonetheless, the escalations are palpable. We'll keep you updated as this progresses.